Hello, I'm the Cartoon Gentleman, bringing you organized chaos. And this is My Little Pony, Perfect Pair. An Applejack Parents-focused episode. Wait, an Applejack Parents-focused episode? Sold! The episode begins with Apple Bloom in town when she notices a large crowd around a strangely shaped apple on top of a merchant's house. Gentlemen? Yo, I don't mean to correct you on everything you think you know, but that there's a pear. What? A pear. A pair of apples? No. A pear. A pear of what? No, it's called a pear. It's a literal fruit called a pear. Your mouth is making noise, but I don't understand the words coming out of it. It's a type of fruit. It's a pear. Okay, this joke's going on for far too long. So, Apple Bloom begins to investigate this new stall, only to discover that it's run by an elderly chap by the name of Grand Pear, who proceeds to give Apple Bloom a slice, as well as being told that he's been there before. Of course, I'm sure this won't entirely play into the story at all. No way, shape, or form. So after Apple Bloom partakes in the fruit of the devil, she discovers it's not half bad, and she wants to bring some home. So Grandpappy Apple gives her one, and she goes home only to discover pancakes for dinner. Pancakes for dinner? That sounds awesome! I want some pancakes now! Give me some pancakes! And none of that waffle crap either! I demand pancakes! Of course, when Apple Bloom reveals her new secret ingredient to top the pancakes, Applejack and Big Mac completely freak out. Jesus, this really is the fruit of the devil! Jesus, Applejack, you're being more intolerant than a liberal on a college campus! Political slam! Well, Applejack explains that the reason why there's no pears allowed in their household is because there's been a long-standing feud between apples and pears. But Applejack and Big Mac don't really understand why. But they're not about to ask Granny Smith about it because she always erupts in rage whenever it's brought up. Can't help but shake the feeling, but that this story is starting to sound awfully familiar. Oh well, let's continue. Even though they can't ask Granny Smith directly, curiosity still beckons them, so they decide to figure out what is the beef between the pears and the apples, and who better than the family historian, Golden Delicious. Who's Golden Delicious? It's their family historian. Doesn't ring a bell. It was that cat lady who tried to adopt me a few years back. Oh yeah. Didn't we file a restraining order on her? Indeed we did. We did. So in order to hear more about the family feud, they go to Golden Delicious' house, in record time I might add since Pinkie Pie wasn't there, to learn the story of how and why the apples and pears hated each other. And it was a tale as old as Ponyville itself. In fact, the only two that actually got along were two little kids, one by the name of
Macintosh and pear butter.
Bright Macintosh? Any relation? Well, I guess there is a relation if if they're both apples, but this is getting intriguing.
Psst. I'm not supposed to talk to you.
I'm not supposed to talk to you either.
Holy shit, that is not the voices I was expecting to come out of those toddlers. I mean, the director of the Lorax all of a sudden take control? I mean, what the hell? So, Bright Mac and Pear Cup were discussing Buttercups as there were some sort of feelings being developed on both sides, I believe. Until Applejack interrupts and says,
Mac and Buttercup, those are our parents' names.
What? That was your parents' names? Somebody get my hat. Holy shit, we finally know their name. I lost my hat twice. So wait, if that little kid is their father, and she went by the name Buttercup, then that must mean that the apple family is also pears. That's the third time. Somebody has to sew this thing on. So, with the revelation that our three little apples are also pears, God, that would have been awkward if one of them got a pear cutie mark. Well, anyway, our Golden Delicious can't really tell any more about the history because external circumstances, so they find another pony who was best friends with their father. I don't mean to play this card, but, like, how do I put this? Is he black? Yeah, but what Commando said. So, Burnt Oak put two and two together and figured that it was time to tell the Apple kids about their Apple dad and their pear mom. And so he tells them a quick little story about how him and Bright Mac destroyed a water silo that belonged to the pears, but he was man enough to actually take the blame instead of Pearl Cup. Which, honestly, gotta give him props and respect for that. I mean, most people, when something bad happens, would probably just go, Tucker did it. So after hearing about Bright Mac, they want to know about their mother, but Burnt Oak here says that the only way that they're going to figure out more about their mom is to go to Mrs. Cake? Okay, well, good for character development. And so on their way, Big Mac decides to make one little pit stop.
Be okay if we stop by again sometime to hear more stories? I'd like that very much.
Oh my god, that's so adorable! And sad. That is sadly adorable. And adorably sad. I'm a mixed bag of emotions right now! So, with the three Apple siblings going to the Cakes in order to confront Mrs. Cake, she explains the story of how she got her cutie mark, as well as some other cute stories on her and their mother together. Which, again, this is so adorable. I'm not sure if I can do it. Hold on. I gotta watch something a little bit darker and depressing before I can actually continue this review. Ugh. Just so you know, he watched The Last Airbender. Yeah. That should be enough to counteract this good episode. It actually gets even more cutely intoxicating when Mrs. Cake exclaims that they actually sang a song together. And I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too cute and too adorable and too sad to do it. It's just... Get a hold of yourself, man! I can't help it. This is just so cute and awesome and adorable and everything I wanted from the Apple family. You are a critic. You're supposed to have a heart of stone, heart of steel, a will of iron. But I can't help it. This is so beautiful. It's so cute. It's so romantic. I just love it. You don't even be romantic to your own girlfriend. Yeah, true. I'm just gonna go. No, come back! I guess I can give the whirl. So, over the course of this here montage, we also get to see a bunch of scenes where the two are interacting with each other without actually interacting with each other, because their families are torn apart by silly rivalry, but they still try to make it work regardless. And this story's starting to sound very familiar. Just can't quite put my finger on it. Hey, quit making like a bunch of cats in here. You have a review to do. Ugh. Okay, Grandpa. Jeez. He can make all the sexual innuendos he wants, but when I actually want to get a turn, yeah. Hypocrisy. Okay, I'll leave it to you. Got it. And so, even though that they were so in love and it didn't seem like anything would get in the way, something gets in the way. The pears are moving. Oh no! Something we already know happened is happening! So with the pairs moving away, Buttercup and Brightmac had to devise a plan in order to stay together somehow. But in order to know this story, we have to go to one other pony. Jeez, this story's just one long conspiracy theory. I mean, hell, it wouldn't surprise me if Mayor Main was involved in this. Oh look, Mayor Main's involved in this conspiracy theory. So, to tie up all loose ends, Brightmac decided that before she moves away, they should get married and make it official. And join the houses. Unfortunately for them, their parents discovered what had happened, but they did not care. They were married, and now our Buttercup was officially an apple. But her dad does the ultimate dick move and makes her choose. Even I think that's a low blow. I know, right? Hell, even I'm not that evil. I know, right? God, I'm so glad so many people off screen are agreeing with me. Seriously, I only got 2 hands. I can't do that. So we can pretty much guess where the story goes from here. She stays with Brightmac, and her father walks away disgruntledly, but saddened. They both plant seeds into the ground, probably one a pear and one an apple, and then we go back to our main time. But in a town with so much heartache for the guy, one must wonder, why did Grandpapal Pear decide to come back? So they decide to confront Grandpappy Pear in order to see why he truly came back to Ponyville. Of course, I believe they've already guessed the answer is he wants to make amends to his family, his other family. And honestly, I'm starting to get a little teary-eyed again, but there's only so long left in this episode, like 2 minutes tops. I'll muscle through it. I'll muscle. So they decide to reunite Grandpappy Pear with Granny Smith, and they very sweetly make amends. And then they decide to take him to the spot where their parents got married, and then we see this beautiful image. It's a beautiful episode. It truly is a beautiful episode. Like, this episode does so many things right in so many different ways. I can't possibly name them all. It gives us what we wanted and gives us closure with Applejack parents. It gives us something new, something different. But hold on, gentlemen. Yeah? What's up? Well, I was saying earlier that there was something familiar about this story. Well, I got that feeling too. Just something that it's on the tip of the tongue. Yeah, it's almost like the story is almost unoriginal. Yeah, but it's also so good. Even if it is a cliche of something else, it's good. Yeah, it is. I will admit that. Are you crying? No, military men don't cry. I'm pretty sure I see something. It was the pepper spray. Yeah, I was pepper sprayed by Alan. I did not pepper spray you. You totally pepper sprayed me. Some people just can't admit to their feelings. Anyway, this episode is truly a wonder of My Little Pony. This episode almost feels like it could be in its own movie. And yeah, there's a lot of ties, if not completely ripped off Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, I said it. But no jokes here. This is the type of episode that you'd want to show someone who's unfamiliar with the series. It tugs at your heartstrings a lot, but it's so worth it. This episode is the best episode of Season 7 so far. I'm the Cartoon Gentleman. I brought you organized chaos. Now, as you excuse me, I gotta figure out how to sew on my hat permanently.
I'm scared I might lose it.
Jeez. They hate that purple, purple. Yeah, purple. They hate that purple. They hate all things purple. Sorry, Twilight, but you are not allowed in that house anymore.